Hello viewers, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can increase your chances of winning a Warzone game, especially in Warzone solos. I suppose actually what I'm going to be telling you is probably good for duos, trios and quads as well. It's all about positioning and information. It doesn't necessarily rely too much on your aiming ability or your reactions or your one-on-ones with people, although inevitably towards the end it always will. So as you can see, I've gone to a corner of the map and I've grabbed a recon. Depending on where the plane is flying over, you want to go for a recon that you can sort of expect not too many people to go through. Particularly in solos, people like to hot drop, as it were, and that means that they don't like to fly too far away from the trajectory of the plane. I think that bug is back where you can see red dots on the gulag, so I don't think anyone's over there. But you can see now I've got one circle completed and I'm heading back into quarry for the next one. Of course there can always be a couple of people around here, so I've always got to keep my wits about me, but you just got to really be as quick as you can when it comes to getting these circle peaks with the recon.
Objective
I can obviously am being hunted, so I need to be aware of that because it can very quickly turn from yellow to red sometimes. There you go, it's gone red now, so I'm in trouble. So you can see in moments like that you can't really have much control over those situations, so you've just got to sort of hope that you win and try not to get too frustrated at those moments, because there's nothing that you can really do to prevent them, should we say, especially when he's hunting you. He essentially knows where you are roughly. This is the second circle now. Sometimes it's a good idea to make sure you get these recons not just before the circle is about to update, because it becomes almost pointless really to do the recon, because you'll get the circle peak and it'll immediately become that circle as the next circle that it's going to close on, and then you've almost wasted it. I'm always looking around for places I'm going to get shot, even though I'm fairly certain it's empty around here. I always prefer to get a UAV over a self-res.
UAV entering the AO.
I'm pretty sure there's no one about. I haven't heard any other loadout drops been dropped in. And so no one has got ghost, usually. So for this game, I'm using a FAL setup, a 3-burst FAL. You don't obviously have to use that for this sort of strategy to increase your chances of winning Warzone solos, but it was just something I just was giving a go, that's all. It's got ghost straight away, which is also really helpful, because once we've got all of the circle peak information, we're going to want to select a building that we can essentially defend from until the circle closes to the point where we have to leave. So having ghost can be really good for people using UAVs and heartbeats. They may notice that we are defending a building. This 3-burst FAL, it's actually quite good. It's almost like quite a powerful FAMAS. It's got a little bit more recoil, but if you can get that under control, it is definitely very effective. Definitely not meta, but it's good fun nonetheless, and you'll see later on in this video how it performs. So I'm going to go for another recon now. So this would be the 4th circle, and you can see the first circle
New safe zone located.
has just collapsed. Heartbeat is also a very good thing to have, particularly in Warzone solos. going back to quarry now, and I know that there was someone here when we killed them because they were hunting us, but they could have come back to get their things. It's been quite a while since then, but nonetheless, I want to use my heartbeat as best I can. It's worth knowing that the heartbeat provides, in a 15-meter radius, a 180-degree view. So if you see here, I will scan in the one direction, and then I'll do a complete 180 and I'll scan on the other. And that means 50 meters around me in any direction I've scanned for anyone that doesn't have Ghost.
Recon intel secured. Solid work. Gas is moving.
Now you can see now, these are the circles that I've found. I haven't had a massive amount of action, but obviously if you want to win Warzone, sometimes getting into the action can actually be essentially rolling the dice every time you get into a fight, because you could just get shot in the back, or someone could get a lucky headshot on you, or anything, you could get third parted. And so now I've noticed on the final circle that I have available to me that there's quite a lot of houses in that circle, and so I need to be able to pick the house that would best suit placement for when the circle starts to shrink even more. And so I am going to go for this additional recon so it can sort of whittle down what house is the best one to defend. Some of the recons are a lot nicer than others. As you can see, there's not many places I can really be shot from here, and I'm keeping the deployable cover with me because not only is it completely bulletproof and it actually stops cars from being able to run you over, which is an awful thing at the moment in Warzone, people using the berthers and the trucks just to run people over. It's also great for mounting and for taking cover if you're out in open areas, such as when you're capturing recons. But now I think I've got enough recons in order to make my move towards the final circle. I don't want to attract too much attention, and so I'm not going to use any vehicles, because then it will be obvious that I will have stopped wherever the car stops. Also, I'm not going as the crow flies, as people say, straight towards the place I want to go. I'm taking a strategic route that allows me to stay in cover from certain angles as I move in. In this case, I took lots of cover down the concrete wall of the military base, and I used that shop to buy some UAVs so that I can move into this part of the circle a little bit more safely. And so this is the house that I'm going to stay in. It's right next to a shop, which means there could be lots of people coming and going. I'm going to move in quietly just in case anyone else has been using this strategy. And as I may have said earlier in this video, there's no strategy that will give you a 100% win rate. You can just do things that tip odds in your favour. So in this case now, I'm using the 4x flip hybrid with the FAL, which means I've got no glint. And so I can freely aim at this person and they can't see a huge beam of white light coming from this window, therefore tipping the odds in my favour regarding being spotted. I could take a shot at him. Haven't shot the FAL yet, so I just wanted to sort of calibrate myself for the 3-burst recoil. And while people, yes, they can hear that, I'm not showing up on the map and there's no glint, and I've got a 4x zoom, but I can very quickly change it to my holographic for close range engagements. And as well, I've also got my heartbeat, if you remember, and so I can see, and you can see how good the FAL actually is, particularly when you hit all the shots like that, because it deals quite a lot of damage. So there's another person on the heartbeat here, but I'm not in too much of a rush to actually go out there and kill them, because then I'm tipping the odds in their favour by going to somewhere where they are. They could know they're in cover. So they're coming towards the building now, so all I've got to do is hold the best angle for me. He was creeping, but he's run through now. No use firing or giving my position away. And this person has got a ghost, so the person I had on the heartbeat earlier must have been killed by this person, or they've moved away. Yes, so you can see I'm doing that heartbeat 180. It's giving me almost a 50 meter radius UAV. Very similar to how I talk about the bounties that you can pick up. They also act as UAVs for a single person.
Gulag's locked down. Area's clear.
For a lot of people, this could be considered a little bit boring gameplay, but I can assure you when you're in it, and people are running past you, you can hear footsteps and shots in the distance. It is very, very intense. So I've just heard someone near the shop now. I'm pretty sure. And so I'm also keeping an eye out for people trying to enter the circle. And so I can sort of compress an angle at the window and just check a certain direction and see if anyone's coming. It's all about having as much information as you possibly can. So remembering where you see them, not necessarily having to engage on them, but remembering where they were. Like the person in the car, for example, I know that they are going to come from that eastern sort of direction. So someone's just bought a loadout, and I can see their red smoke. And he's doing the loadout glitch, unfortunately. It's another exploitation that people use. So there's nothing I can actually do to shoot him now until he selects his loadout and comes out of it, because he's completely bulletproof. So there's no point really showing too much of myself to him, because I'm only going to be giving myself away to someone who literally can't be shot. Unfortunately, that is one of many problems in Warzone at the moment. You've got the stim glitch, which has apparently been fixed as of today, if this video does go up on the 5th of February. So I know there's 5 players left now, including me, so there's 4 players. So I know where one of them are. They're hiding out a loadout. And there's 2 more. I suspect that there is going to be one down the hill and one up the hill, being with how quiet it is, but I'm not getting anything on heartbeats, so I'm assuming that they've got Ghost. The guy hiding like a child in the loadout has seen someone and he's taking a couple of shots. He knows that he can, because no one can see him. But as soon as that circle moves, he's going to have to come out of that, so I've just got to wait for that moment. I've got to put myself in his shoes and think, when is the best time for him to jump out that loadout and move position? And that is when I'm obviously going to aim at that area. But for now, I'm just going to hold these angles that are going to keep me alive. And if I do get kills, that's great. But if I go for kills, I'm going to be rolling the dice in every engagement, because I don't know who else is around, what guns they have, and all sorts of things like that. So while getting kills is exciting and fun, and most of the big YouTubers like to do it, it's not always the best way to go about things. You only see one game of them getting 20 kills, but you might have seen 5 other games where they die straight away. Right, so I timed that well to get that guy, but I'm at the opposite end of the circle that I want to be now. So this is where the strategy sort of falls apart a little bit. Not in that it doesn't work, but it's just RNG. And that was a very suspicious kill, I thought, at the time when I was killed. He's got an Odin, and if you look, he's level 18 and he's got one of the rarest animating calling cards in the game, and he didn't miss a single bullet. He had 25 kills. So we can safely say that that person was cheating, I would hazard a guess, because 25 kills being level 18 and having a stacked Odin. I don't think you even have the Odin at level 18. But I hope that you found that helpful, so leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.